What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets didn't have the best of days today. The S&P and the Nasdaq 100 went down 0.1%. We had the Dow go up 0.3%, but brace yourselves, guys. The Russell went down almost 3% on the day. So I want to break down some technicals today, go over a bunch of stocks to buy now, and I also want to share with you all what stocks I own right now. So sit back, relax, hit the like button. Let's try to get 300 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Feel free to join the Strive Smart Discord chat. Get yourself $30 from M1 Finance, 2 stocks from WeBull, and you guys can check out my Patreon for more access to me, buy and sell alerts, call outs. All of those are linked right down below. So let's get into it. S&P 500, like I said, both the S&P and the Nasdaq 100 didn't do so well today, especially the Russell, but we somehow, some way, got super close to all-time highs on the S&P today. We got about 2 points, literally 2 points shy from those all-time highs. And if you guys remember, 3983 is the all-time high that we ended up hitting back on the 17th of March at the end of the day on that day. And by the looks of it, and we've covered this and we mentioned it on Patreon this morning, look, we broke out on Friday. We ended up gapping up above both the resistance of this descending triangle and 3950. We ended up filling the gap today again to 3980, roughly at that all-time high. So for tomorrow, what I'm looking for, very simple, is are we going to break this resistance? Are we going to hit a new all-time high? And I am pretty sure, and I'm not a genie, guys, but I have a feeling that we're going to hit an all-time high, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but at some point this week, I think we're going to hit an all-time high. It's just we're super close. It makes sense that we're going to do that, most likely. And of course, it could tank and we might not hit all-time highs. But based on this 5-day, 5-minute, look, the past 1, 2, 3 trading days, the uptrend is holding. That's a good sign. And we ended up holding a higher low at the close of the market. So for all we know, we could easily squeeze out above 39.83 and hit a fresh all-time high. Maybe even 4,000 points, which is that milestone for the S&P. And when it comes to SPY, guys, SPY, watch out for this point. Big resistance coming up at, take a look at this, $398. We're trading at $395 right now. And you guys can see earlier in the day, we were actually at $396. So, yeah, I mean, we need to fill the gap to $398. That's a big resistance. And from that point, we'll hit an all-time high. I'm not sure why. We talked about this on Friday, this little manipulation candle, and we saw that pre-market again today. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, but overall, the levels on SPY, 398, 400, 405. That's kind of what I'm watching. And for QQQ, let's pull that up very quickly, which is the Nasdaq ETF that I personally track. Look, we're still under 180 and 50 SMA resistance points here on the 4-hour chart. Actually, we did break the 50, but we're still under the 180. So I'd like to see that break from there. I think we might be able to fill the gap probably to 320. 321 followed by about $325. And for the Nasdaq 100 itself, you guys can see very similar to QQQ since it tracks, or shall I say QQQ tracks the Nasdaq 100 tech-oriented stocks, right? You guys can see we're also in a downtrend on this chart. 5-day, 5-minute, you guys can see it. And on the hourly chart, even better. So where are we going to go? This point of resistance is massive on the Nasdaq 100. If we break above, let's say 13,000, which we're under that point right now, if we take that level out, I think we could ultimately fill the gap to 13,300, which is about 300 points away. That'd be a nice 2-ish% move when it comes to the Nasdaq 100, that is. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you all remember, and if you guys were paying attention to the markets today, some of the breaking news included a big hedge fund or institution, whatever you want to call it, Archegos, however you want to call it. Huang's Archegos Capital Management recently sold $30 billion in holdings to meet margin calls. This is why margin is very dangerous, especially if you're on too much margin. And we're not going to talk about that today, but this massive firm got hit with margin calls, according to Wall Street, and U.S. media stocks Viacom, CBS, and Discovery, plus a few Chinese internet ADRs experienced severe selling pressure on Friday, and the declines prompted a margin call from one of the fund's prime brokers, triggering similar demands for cash from other banks and unleashing more selling on Friday. And if you guys looked into it, Credit Suisse and some other bank, it started with an N, I forget how it's pronounced, these got decimated, right? I believe the other bank that started with an N, it went down 16% on Friday. Credit Suisse went down like 13%. And it started a lot of chaos, and people are nervous now that this could trigger a chain of reaction, or a chain effect. Maybe a bunch of other big institutions, hedge funds, they get margin called. They have to sell a bunch of stock to cover that margin call, that cash requirement that the banks are like, hey, we need this money now. We don't care what the price is at. You must sell and fulfill this margin call. So we don't know how many other firms, institutions, hedge funds are going to go through this, and if more, and a lot of people think, I was reading some Wall Street Journal articles, a lot of analysts think a lot more margin calls from a lot of institutions could start hitting these next couple of weeks, which could end up causing a lot of chaos in the stock market. A lot of, maybe not chaos to the point where it's like a March 2020 crash or something, but it's going to be pretty volatile, right? From my understanding, and I personally agree with that. If you're seeing these whales out there, massive money, guys, this is not retail money. This is big money. They're getting margin called. They're moving billions and billions and billions of dollars of stock. There's going to be some volatility, and the big banks are also going to probably be put under pressure. A lot of the big banks struggle today, from Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, banks abroad, and so forth. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments on the market, the whole Archegos, however the heck you want to call that. I'm not here to pronounce it right. You guys know my pronunciation is not great, but I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you think this could be a problem with a lot of other big, whales, if you want to call them, in the market right now. So yeah, I'd love to know, again, your thoughts. Make sure to smash that like button if you guys are enjoying the video so far. And let's talk about quickly, and there's not much to talk about, but let's go over what I'm personally doing, what stocks I'm in. Tesla got hit under $600 per share today, guys. It was at $598 or something like that, $596 roughly. And you guys know, I've been buying Tesla on the dip, and I said I'll probably add more in the mid to low 500s, and I'm sticking to that. I didn't buy any more quite yet, because I think, based on the trend, and you guys could probably agree with me, we might see that fill downwards to about 530, 535, maybe even 540. So Tesla, I'm in this one still, holding on tight. Tattooed Chef is another one, which, by the way, guys, I tried their, what the heck is it called? The plant-based burrito bowl. Gosh, that thing is incredible. If you guys follow me on Instagram at StasserFest, make sure to go do that. I did a review on that and the cauliflower mac and cheese one, which was also really good. And those reviews, I did them on my story, so you probably can't see them. But if you follow me on TikTok at StasserFest, which I'm doing a lot of content on TikTok now as well, I've been posting the reviews of Tattooed Chef on there. So make sure to follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, all at StasserFest. And the products are great. I love the products, and the more I eat the products, and the more I go to Target around here, I went to 2-3 Targets, and I'm looking at the shelves. I'm thinking, guys, this product is incredible. And I personally invest in products that I like. And Tattooed Chef, let me tell you, gosh, I really like the products. I think it felt super fresh. That's the crazy thing. I felt, when I was eating that burrito bowl, I felt for frozen food, it being frozen, I'm like, this is more, it tastes more fresh than frozen. If you told me this was fresh, I would have believed you. So that, I mean, yeah, that's huge. That's huge in my eyes. The fact that the ingredients are better than normal frozen food, and it's a vegan diet. It's more plant-based. And yeah, you get more veggies and more nutritious foods, although people would argue, Stas, it's frozen, it's not healthy. I'm not here to have that debate. You guys get the point, right? When it comes to frozen foods, this is more on the healthier side, and I really like it. So Tattooed Chef, Tesla, Chargepoint, CHPT, didn't do anything new there. This one, I'd probably add more if it breaches into the teen level, so I'm waiting patient on, Chargepoint. SLV still in this one for silver exposure, although silver hasn't been doing so well lately. I'm still holding on to my shares in SLV. NEO also has not been doing well lately. This is one that I think the lowest it can go is 32, 33. There's just no way, in my opinion, it goes to the mid-20s, high 20s. I mean, sure, it could, and if so, I'd add more money, but I just don't see it, at least in the very short term. And of course, we will see how that goes down, and that's kind of what I'm doing, guys. I didn't add anything new today. I'm just riding with these positions that I currently have open, about 5 positions right now. I'd love to know what you guys are up to. Let me know in the comments. And when it comes to long-term stuff, I'm looking at GNOG to add more to. I keep saying general. Golden Nugget Online Gaming. I want to add more to that position as a longer-term growth play. And honestly, more to my Tattooed Chef position. I own a swing position in that and a long-term position, and we're going to be adding more to those stocks, guys. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you guys want to see real-time buy and sell alerts, call-outs, morning update videos. I do a bunch of content there on Patreon. Plus, you have access to me throughout the day via DM, and I'm very active on that as well. So check that out. Link down below in the description box. And now let's talk about DraftKings, guys. DraftKings is in a new partnership with none other than the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment Company, right? And this is fake wrestling, right? It's not UFC, which is not scripted. It is scripted. WWE is scripted, and that's interesting. Although I feel like they can still, I mean, you could still bet on WWE even though it's scripted, right? I mean, I don't think it matters that it's scripted, or does it matter to you? I mean, I'm probably not going to be betting on anything WWE, but what do you think on that? Let me know down below in the comments. And when I first found out WWE was fake, I think I was in like 5th grade. That was a devastating day. And I still look back sometimes at those clips from early 2000s, man. Those were the days when it came to WWE. But overall, I mean, look, DraftKings is down a lot. Today it went down 8%. We're probably in a bear market at this point. $16 down from the all-time high. Yup, we're down about 20%. And overall, we are holding this uptrend on the 4-hour chart right around $58, $57, $59. So this is a point where, look, we're oversold. Again, we're holding the uptrend as of now. I want to see if we see some sort of rebound from 58, probably back to 60 to about $62. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to DraftKings here. And 65 ultimately needs to break to gain, for the bulls that is, to gain full momentum back on this particular stock. And yeah, I mean, look, WWE, this is really good. Although you might not want to bet on WWE, whatever. What you have to understand is this company is massive, massive. There's so many people that watch WWE to the point where there's going to be a lot of new eyeballs on DraftKings. So this is very good. I don't really care about, betting on WWE, but the fact that there's so many new eyeballs on DraftKings now, people on the app, downloading the app, putting money in the app, using the services, that is a very, very, very good sign in my eyes. And yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And when it comes to WWE stock, I've never even once considered owning this thing, nor have I done research into the financials or the earnings reports. I've watched hours of WWE when I was a kid, right? But I don't know anything about the internal business. I'm assuming it's decent, right? And technically speaking, look, I mean, resistance is at $60. We're uptrending into that. We're holding about 56 right now. So maybe we actually see a little pop to about $60, giving this about a 5-6% upside. So watch out for DraftKings. Watch out for WWE. AMD is another one here, Advanced Micro Devices, which you guys know, especially if you were in the Patreon. This is one that I added as a long-term investment a couple weeks ago, earlier in March, as it got hit very quickly from 95 all the way down to $74. It got into a bear market in a couple of trading days there, and I ended up adding some at about 77.50, right around there, I believe. And now we're pretty much right back at that $77 level. And this is such an important spot considering we haven't broken under 75, 77, 74 over the past couple of months, stemming back from July in 2020. So look, haven't broken under there. And I think there's a good chance that we do end up rallying off this point, probably getting back to the 80s, 85 level. So I'm looking at 75 as big support. And if we end up breaking this hourly chart downtrend here, you guys can see it at about 78, 79, 80 bucks. That's going to be a reversal spot for AMD. Bulls will probably gain some speed, momentum at that point. So watch out for that. Boeing BA is another one here that I'm liking. You guys can see resistance is at about, well, there's multiple. One resistance at 253, followed by 267, followed by $278. And what we're noticing here on Boeing is an inverse head and shoulder. Left shoulder head, the right shoulder right here. We ended up holding 243. We filled the gap to 252. Now, I believe the right shoulder is going to form if we could end up seeing the gap from 252 up to 268, 270. That's a move of about 5 to 7%, 6-7%. So I'm excited about Boeing. We got news today that Southwest Airlines is adding 100 firm orders for the Boeing 737 MAX 7. So a nice chunky order there from Southwest Airlines, guys. I'm pumped about that. And I'm not a Boeing shareholder. In fact, now that I just realized, I forgot about this. I did own Boeing about a year and a half ago, and I sold out of it. So I sold out of Boeing. That was back during the whole crash in 2020. I remember I dumped that stock way before it got down to, I think it got down to $80, $90. That was rough. Yeah, look at this. Actually, did it get down that low? Yeah, I'm pretty positive it did. Or maybe not that low, but either way, I did own Boeing. I dumped out of it, and I'm not necessarily looking to get back. Yeah, it did. Look at that, $89, $90. So I think I got out at like $250 or something. Avoided a massive drop, and now we're pretty much back to where I initially was in the stock, and I'm not looking to get back into it as a long-term play, but as a swing, as a short-term play, I think I like Boeing here. Again, there's upside to about 270, 275. So watch out for that. Bitcoin today was also doing well. GBTC, which tracks Bitcoin, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it's not tracking it, perfectly. If Bitcoin goes up 5%, GBTC goes up 5%. It doesn't necessarily work like that, but it did go up, right? It did go up 6.5%. Bitcoin, let me see what Bitcoin's at. I'm opening up my Coinbase right now. This has got to be doing well. Yeah, it's currently up 4.5% on the day. It's up to $57,600 a coin. And let me know in the comments, guys, if you've been buying Bitcoin as of late. I haven't bought Bitcoin in about 2 months. Last time I bought was low 30s, 32. I bought some at 38. I bought some at 35. That's the last time I was really buying, and I'm still holding on to those, those purchases there. And let me know what you guys are doing with Bitcoin itself. And for GBTC, look at this wedge on the 4-hour chart. This is looking pretty solid. We have resistance coming up at about 50.51. So I wouldn't necessarily jump into GBTC until we could see a break out of, let's say, $50. So if we could break 50, we end up rallying 52. I could see this thing get back and test those highs, maybe at 58, maybe even higher than that, maybe $60 per share. So GBTC, I'm interested in this as a trade. By no means am I going to buy this and hold it long term. That's pointless to me because, again, I already own Bitcoin in my Ledger Nano S, which, if you guys don't know what that is, just go on my search or go on the YouTube search bar, type in Stasser Fest, Bitcoin, Coinbase, Ledger Nano S, and you guys can see pretty much how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase and safely store it on the Ledger Nano S, which is a cold storage device, but that's a whole different topic for a whole different video. And by no means am I a Bitcoin expert. Quite the contrary, actually. I'm not that big into Bitcoin, but I do want to have it in my portfolio. I consider myself much more, and you guys could obviously agree with this, much more of a stock market guy as opposed to a crypto guy. Although I am educated a little bit on crypto, it's not like I'm a complete moron. I mean, I know the basics, right? But I'm just not, and quite frankly, I'm just not too into it. I'm not that interested in Bitcoin crypto. But again, I still want to own it. I still want to have my little piece of the pie there. And Mara and RIOT, M-A-R-A, is one that is also a Bitcoin play. Both of these are, Mara and RIOT. These are more, oriented with mining, right? Cryptocurrency mining, Bitcoin mining. And these are also in wedges. You guys can see lower highs are being made at the same time as we're making higher lows. And Mara in particular here, Marathon Patent Holdings, or now it's called Marathon Digital Holdings. This one's at a resistance point, right? Right at $39-40, right around this 50 moving average, also right at the resistance of the wedge. So in my eyes, Mara needs to break $42. From there, we could end up seeing a breakout, and RIOT needs to break roughly 52 to about 55 it needs to break, and then from there we can see potentially a breakout, maybe back to 70, 80, maybe somehow it catches on fire and it goes back plus $84, maybe $90. That would be the day, right, guys? And we're not positive that's going to happen. Obviously, we don't know anything that's going to happen in the future. All we can do is manage our risk and play the market accordingly, guys. So those are some stocks I'm watching. And no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Don't click out of the video yet, guys. Apple AAPL is in a very interesting spot. Take a look at this. What you all can notice is resistance is right around 123. You guys can see support is at 120. This is also looking like a descending triangle, which makes me nervous because if the descending triangle plays out, we'd probably gap down to about $113, $115. But if it doesn't, let's say we don't break 120, let's say we rip out of 122, the 50 moving average resistance here on the 4-hour, I could see Apple fill the gap to 127, giving it about 5% upside from here. And if 127 were to break, that is the big momentum shift. That would be a move, and we'd see a move in that at that point, in my opinion, to about 135 to 137. So Apple is in a very interesting spot. Tomorrow and really the rest of this week is going to be huge when it comes to direction of Apple in the short term, that is. And AirBNB is the last one for the day, which I'm interested in because if I redraw this, you guys can see, and a lot of these, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of these that we covered today are in these wedges, and we can see a wedge, higher lows, lower highs, and we can see a big pop today. AirBNB went up 4.6%, and we filled the gap, kind of. There is a little bit more juice left, but we're close to the 50 and the 180 moving averages. So I think, look, we could see a pop to maybe 190, maybe about $8 to $10 more upside, and that is going to be the big spot. If it could break 195, 200, maybe we see a big pop back to 215, 220. So Airbnb, I think it's tuning up here for a move. We just have to be patient. And it's the same with all of these. We have to be patient with all of these stocks we mentioned today and wait for those technical spots. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Let's try to get at least, come on guys, 300 likes on this video. I challenge you all. Subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure to also join the free Discord chat and get yourself $30 also free from M1 Finance by simply using my link, depositing money into the account, and then you get your free money, and you could also get 2 stocks from WeBull. And don't forget to also, on top of that, check out my Patreon for buy and sell alerts, real-time and real-time call-outs, and you get a morning update video if you become a top-tier patron every single day, and you get access to me throughout the day, more one-on-ones. So check that out. All of those are linked down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the markets, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace out. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot. Check out my video from earlier today where I go over my M1 Finance portfolio that I made strictly for you guys, the YouTube channel, and I go over, never done this before, how much money I've made from dividends, and I show you all how much the dividends have increased over time. That video is right here. Click that. I'll see you there. Peace out.